This is a really nice knife. I mean, it's a beautiful Damascus blade. It's got the file work on top. It's just a beautiful blade. But the thing is, a lot of times you'll have knife companies or custom knife makers that make a beautiful knife like that and then put it in a well, a not so beautiful knife sheath. It's true, this one is welted and that is a pretty nice stitch line on it, but this belt loop, what is with this? The edges aren't burnished, they aren't beveled, there's basically no edge work done. It was sanded smooth, colored, stitched. Okay, it's done. That's not finished. That's not a finished knife sheath. That's kind of a cheapy type knife sheath. And check this out. I can see it being a friction sheath. Okay, this kind of knife would work well in a friction sheath. But the problem is, a friction sheath is supposed to hold the knife in, which this obviously doesn't. So, the fellow that owns this knife asked me to make a sheath form, and this is what I came up with. First, of course, I sat and stared at it for a while, and then I made some scribbles on some construction paper, and I sat and stared at that for a while. But here's what I came up with. This is the back piece to the sheath, and on top of that, another pattern, that's for the welt. That'll make a spacer between the back of the knife sheath and the front of the knife sheath, which is this piece. Now what I did, see if I can put this on here right, is I contoured this piece so the handle fits perfectly against it. Now this piece goes on here, and on this is going to be the back side of the snap. That way there will be no metal on the inside of the sheath to risk scratching that beautiful blade. And the pattern for the belt loop. It's going to have a hold. This piece here is the hold down strap. I'm going to show you how it's going to work. If I quit putting it together backwards. Now this is going to be a left-handed knife sheath, so I got to remember that. But okay, it's going to be the back piece, and then the welt, and then the front piece, and then the piece for the snap is going to go there. I call this a stacked leather sheath because these are going to be bits of leather stacked on top of one another. Also, I'm going to use this piece to make a spacer that's going to fit in the back. Now let's see, the front piece is going to be 7 to 8 ounce leather. The welt is going to be 9 ounce leather. This extra little piece will also be 7 to 8 ounce, and the back will be 7 to 8 ounce. The spacer that's going to go against the back here is going to be 10 to 14 ounce. I got a hunk of it right here, and that fits perfect right there. So the idea is when the blade goes in, the space is going to be there, and it's not going to bind and rub against the back of the sheath. It'll just slip right in, right into a slot built into the sheath. It'll be really cool. Now the way the hold down is going to work, I'm just going to stick the front piece on here. Knife will go in there. Let's see if I can do this without stabbing myself in the hand. And then the hold down is going to come around here like that to hold the blade in place. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take and staple this together and we'll check it out. Okay, this is just another angle to show y'all what I was talking about. Now I stapled the front piece to the back piece, and the blade fits into this recess here. This little part goes here, and like I said, this will be 7 to 8 ounce. The back piece will be 7 to 8 ounce. This will be 7 to 8 ounce. The welt will be 9 ounce. This will be 7 to 8 ounce. And the spacer between the knife and the back of the sheath is going to be 12 to 14 ounce. Now you see the way this works. It has this little piece in front, then this comes around and holds it in like that. You'll have your snap right there and a little tab you can pop snap off with. But basically, that's it. I am going to submit this video with the pattern. Well, submit this pattern video. And if it is approved, I mean, you know, if the fellow that I'm making it for has some different ideas and say, how about if we do this or do that, then, you know, I'll incorporate that into the pattern. Or, you know, even if he wants to start over completely with a completely different idea, then we'll come back with that. But this is what I came up out of my own little brain all by my lonesome. Oh, and then the belt loop. Okay, you see the way that's doing that? That's why I'm putting the spacer in, so the leather doesn't do that on the finished product. Belt loop will be stitched right about here on the back, like that. Now, it may not be exactly this size, you know, I'll adjust the size accordingly because I'm going to make it to fit a belt. Let me show you the belt. Okay, this belt is going to go with this sheath. So the belt loop is going to be sized to fit this belt. But I have to take into consideration that there's the extra leather strap here and the end. So I have to make it so this belt loop will go over the end of it and onto this belt. And basically that's that. I'm going to submit the pattern, or the design rather. Well, that is going to be the pattern. I'm going to take it apart, use it as a pattern. And like I said, if the fella likes it, we can get the cut leather. If not, then we'll have more pattern videos. See y'all next time.